Hey, Cerebral Madness. This is Fragments of Memory, aka the Armchair Philosopher. I'm gonna this is my response as promised. This is the response to part two of your saying, and I know you're gonna do part three. I'm not sure if I will respond just yet, but I felt I had to get my 2 cents in on it. So, how black people looked in 1899 versus today, and you did show the images of black people, and I saw some lovely black women, and they were in the turn of the century clothing with the heads covered and everything. And I saw the black men and black women dressed a certain way. Then we switched to that. We switched over. Then you switched over to today's black person, and you see us. We're rocking tattoos more so than than let's say the so-called headbanger rock and roller white guy. Because I remember tattoos were the thing of the biker. The was the thing of the sailor or the military man. Tats are the way of the man in prison, not just the everyday person on the street. Now you got men and women rocking tattoos all over their body, just body art like crazy. Back then it was the rock and rollers, the headbangers, the bikers, the biker chicks, and now it's every damn body. Um, I saw this other vid, and it compared about it wasn't from you, but it was from someone, and they talked about how black people, how does the black have black women changed? And this is not a put down of black women, but they showed one where they had old school style music, and you saw the black women in the old school style swimsuits that almost covered them like regular clothes. You saw the black women doing household chores with their daughters and doing nice things, and then like the music changed to Adina Howard's "Freak Like Me," and then you saw these pictures of ladies with mini skirts on. Some There was a woman that was topless and she was quite large breasted, and she just had her shirt down like this, but you could see the shape of her breasts around this shirt covering up her front. Another woman was completely topless and she was covering up herself like this, but you could still see the shape of her breasts. And then you see women, booties all out, legs cocked up, grinding on some dude. And then these are pictures that are, of course, put on Facebook and put on other social networking sites like Twitter and all of that. And I'm wondering what happened between that and now. So when you showed that, that brought back that mind. And what really got my goat was the World Star Hip Hop vid. I was wondering, why are these women encouraging, number one, the little dude to be dancing like what females dance, like he's popping his booty like he's some stripper at the club. Then you got the little girl shaking and jiggling like she's a grown woman at a strip club. Are we trying to first of all, create an effeminate young man because he doesn't have the guidance of a man to say, hey, men don't do that? And then we're going to create this little girl to virtually put her body out there, to put her body on display, that it's okay. And then of course she'll be offended if someone tried to look at her daughter in a certain way. So World Star Hip Hop, damn you, World Star Hip Hop. I hate you, World Star Hip Hop. Um, the Emmett Till video, that disturbed me just a little bit. I've known the story of Emmett Till. I've seen the photo of him, how he looked, and then how he looked in the coffin, and that was just, whoa, that made my heart break. And to think that two grown white men did that to a 14-year-old kid is sick. And he just, all because he whistled at a white lady, the wife of a white shopkeeper, and he got off. It was only recently that he got put in jail, but by then he was like in his 70s. And Bobby Tillman, he was killed because of, what was it again? They were upset about an altercation involving a female, so they just needed to take someone to take their rage out on. And poor Bobby Tillman just happened to be that kid. And you know who did it? Other black guys. So you're right. And I remember that scene from Tales from the Hood. I remember when Tales from the Hood came out in movie theaters in 1999, and I went to go see it. 1995, excuse me. And I remember that scene, and that scene just frightened me, angered me, and sickened me all at the same time. And then, of course, he asked that question. What color were the people that you killed, boy? You know, hey, nigger, what color were the people that you killed? He says. And the little dude didn't say nothing. And then he goes, oh, that's right. They were niggers. I know. They were niggers. And he says, you know what, nigger? You cool with me. I like you. You cool with me. So we don't have to do the work of these white supremacist groups. We're doing it for them. They don't have to do it. We're doing it for them. Now, I was shocked that this violence happened at Howard University. Now, I'm sure that the founders of Howard and Fisk and all these other black organizations would be downright pissed off. rolling in their damn graves if such a thing were possible, if they found out that this was going on their campuses. And I'm sure the fight was about nothing. And then women are jumping in to beat down the people. What ails us? Even the so-called educated black is messed up in the mind. And you made me shudder with your comment about the economic collapse. Like I hate to see what happens when that economic meltdown really happens. And we do seem to be like the Walking Dead, just like the zombie movies. We kind of be that Walking Dead looking for the brains to eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about book learning. It's not about street learning. It's not about empirical knowledge versus theoretical knowledge. It's about a mentality. And I see where you're coming from. We have this messed up, whacked out mentality. I can see where you were coming from as far as your emotions were in the previous video. And seeing videos, well, I don't go to the website World Star Hip Hop, but you know, sometimes people will post stuff on YouTube, people that I subscribe to, and people whose channels that I follow. I'll see that, oh, a subscription has popped up, and I'll start looking, and they'll show some clip from World Star Hip Hop, or some friend I know on Facebook has some worldstarhiphop.com view, and it's always some act of violence or catfighting, and people filming and egging it on and encouraging this type of behavior. And then this website supports this type of thing. I mean, really. I even like where you came at it with the whole interracial marriage thing. How, you know, a lot of people are either interracially dating or marrying or cohabitating with, depending on your situation, for the wrong reasons. I.e., I'm getting bad service at this. People are treating a race like it's a restaurant or a phone company. Like, I didn't like this phone company or the service at this restaurant, so I'm going to go to the other restaurant. And that seems to be how we look at dating and mating and marriage and even cohabitation, depending on where your beliefs lie there. I believe that you should like someone based on the character that they have and the connection you have with them, not based on their ethnicity. Like all these people that say, I dated Asian, I dated Hispanic. No, they're not flavors you can sample. They're people. They just happen to come from another land or culture or tribe or whatever. But don't sit up here trying to brag about your conquest by categorizing them by flavors and colors and scents. Jeez. So we as blacks in America are the model for what not to become. That's how I see us right now. We're the model for what not to become. Just like you were saying. So I'm really co-signing with you on that. It seems that Arabs can look down on us. Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Hispanics can look down on us. Black African, or blacks from the African countries, blacks from the islands can look down on us because we seem to be the great buffoons of the planet Earth. What else did I like about your vid? You spoke about morality, how blacks in America, how we generally speaking tend to have a moral poverty. And it's something that money cannot fix. It's not it's not a poverty of money and resources. It's a poverty of morality. And I'm going to touch on that in my part 2 to my response to your part 2. So, to be continued later.